Hello.
Hey, 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 how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Very good. It's nice and early for you there.
It's actually not that bad. It's only what is it? It's 9:40.
9:40. Oh, well, the morning's in full stride. Hey, Gail. Full
Hello.
stride. Yeah, yeah.
Is my
What?
sound okay?
Uh, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
There is actually a bit of a hum. I don't know whether.
It's my tower. It's thinking. My computer's thinking.
Ah, right, right. Yeah, I can just about hear that. Yeah, but the sound's good otherwise.
Okay. Cool. Well, Lori
Maybe
and I were
the
trying to.
microphone's a little bit too good. Maybe I don't know.
It's a little too good. I usually have like I have a thingy up, but I don't have it up right now. So.
Ah, right, right, right. Beautiful. Hey, Laurie.
Hi. Yes.
Hi.
Excited. Yes, we were looking for you. And I figured you were probably held up, but I'm happy to see you.
Yeah,
I'm going
sorry I'm
to.
late. I had a mastermind group that ran a little bit over, and then my computer decided it was going to shut down on me, so I had to restart it. And
Yeah.
always, it's like when you're late and you end up stuck behind a really slow driver, or one of those things. It was like a catalogue of things like that. But
Well,
I'm here
now we
now.
are
I'm
here.
here now.
And Colin, you're going to be doing a talk about persuasion, right?
I sure am. Yeah, at the top of the
At,
hour.
at the top of the hour. So, yes,
Mm.
exciting
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
then at 5, so yeah, 4 o'clock your time. What's happened? No, at 4, top of the hour, you're doing your talk.
Yeah.
And then at the next top of the hour, we'll call it, then what's happening?
So then I've got a guest coming on.
Exactly.
Yep, guest coming on
Oh,
then.
Brad.
Speaker. Brad Lazarus, yes.
Yes. Okay, good. And then we have Ross Brand, and then we have no, we don't. Then we have Gail, then we have Ross, and then we have Brian Traum, and then we have me, and then we have Rasmus, and then we have me, and then we have me, and then we have me. No, then we have Gail, and then yes.
You sound like you might need a little bit of sleep, Laurie. What do you reckon?
Actually, we're gonna go when I'm going now, and or in a minute, and then we're going to try. We're going to be experimenting. I've been doing some experimenting throughout these sections.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're going pretty well. It's fun, and so we're gonna try a new thing, going off location. So
Okay.
you're not going to see me in this wonderful setting that I have, my very professional corner over here. Yes, we're going to try something else. So hopefully the lighting and everything will be good enough. But
Nice.
I need to get out and be with people in the world instead of in cyberspace.
So we're gonna see Laurie on location around Copenhagen then, hey?
Laurie Webb on location. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, we'll see. Yeah.
Oh, Colin. Okay, what country are you actually in?
England.
You are in England. Okay.
Why?
Well, I was talking to my friend Jenny yesterday and live streaming, so it's recorded for forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
Was trying to decide if Colin Scotland lived in Scotland.
Yes.
And I thought that would be really hilarious. And then I was like, I bet he's heard that a lot.
Yep.
And
Yep.
anyhow, I thought I would actually ask. I was like, I'll ask him the next time I see him. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna see him tomorrow.
Nice, yeah. Colin Scotland from England. But I tell you, it's a nightmare getting a taxi if I'm ever in Scotland. I have relatives that live up not far from Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And I used to stay with them when I was a young guy, and we'd be out in the town, on the town having a drink and all that. And then I'd go into a phone. Remember the days of phone boxes? You're too young, Gail. You won't remember.
I am not too young.
But we'd pick the phone up and I'd say, hey, can I have a taxi from Kirkcaldy town centre back to wherever? And yeah, sure, no problem. What's the name? And I'd say the name's Scotland. Me with my English accent, and he'd say, "No, son, you're in Scotland. What's your name? What's your name?" And I literally had a guy hung up on me. A taxi driver hung up on me.
No, son, you're in England. No, you're not in England. You're in Scotland.
That's a really cool story. I love it.
I have something to add to that because I don't want to be left out. But that the funny thing is that Colin is English, correct, Colin?
Mm-hmm.
But you know who is Scottish?
You?
Really? I didn't know that, Laurie. I didn't know that.
I have
Wow.
Scott. Well, as the funny story is that me looking like I look, yes, there's innuendo there. That I was on a train here in Denmark, and there was an elderly woman, and she was trying to get to the crux of where I came from. Basically, she had dropped her. She was dropping something, so I gave it to her. We're sitting on the train, and so that was her in to find out who I was. And this is many years ago when Copenhagen wasn't as diverse as it is now. And so she was looking at me and then, "Oh, where do you come from?" And I said, "Oh, I come from the States." And she said, "Oh, but where do you come from?" "Oh, you know the States. I come from New York." "Well, where do you come from?" "Oh, you know New York. I come from, I was born in New York, but I lived in Albany and Rockport." But I mean, originally. And I said, "Oh, well, I mean, you mean my background? Well, I'm African American, I'm Native American, and I'm Scottish." And she went, "Oh, you really don't see the Scottish. You really don't see that part." And I was just laughing. But the funny thing was that everybody on the train, like, were rubbernecking, like, uh-oh. She didn't just say that to her. Like, how is the minority lady gonna react?
Shall we get our phones out? Shall we put it on YouTube? Yeah.
Sorry?
I said, shall we get our phones out and put it on YouTube?
Yes.
Like, should we get our phones out?
Pre-YouTube.
Pre-YouTube, okay.
It was funny, and that's like just, we were talking about communication and innuendo and all these things, and I'm always talking about context, but the point was she didn't mean anything by it. I realized that she didn't mean anything about it. There was no reason for me to school her because she wasn't somebody who was going to interact. She wasn't like a young person that I thought this was a teachable moment or something like that. It was my feelings and my agenda. I didn't need to put that on her. And to be honest with you, I just thought it was kind of funny that she was just like digging and digging. And instead of just saying, "Excuse me, but what is your original background? Like, what is your heritage? I'm very interested. You look different than everybody else on the train, and I would very much like to know why." So funny. Yeah. So yes, so that is the thing that I also had just discovered it. So I go around and I tell people about it, and with mixed reaction. I was all excited because there was somebody from Scotland that I was talking. Oh, and they did not seem to be so excited about it as I was. It was like, okay, weird woman. I was like, I am also part Scottish because I'm Scottish on both sides of my family. And of course, it's a bit of a shock. Like, I found out after my second son was born. So I was well into adulthood before I found out. I had seen a man who actually, Colin, maybe you look a little bit like my great grandfather. A little bit. He had, my great grandfather. So, but with the long beard, that's why my name is Webb. And Webb is very, if you think about it, that's a very, there are Webbs all over the UK, right? It's a very popular name. So thus, yes, anyway. Yeah, aren't you guys happy you heard about the history? This is something to do with personal branding and being authentic and sharing your story.
Well, there's a reason I have a green background. It's not just because it makes me look pretty.
I know who you are. I know yeah, this is a whole UK section thing, right? It's all about do you know where Gail comes from?
Go on, Gail. No, I'm curious. You need to tell me now, Gail.
Uh-oh, faux pas. Sorry.
So I'm first generation American on my dad's side, and my dad was born in Northern Ireland. And so that's where all my family is, and like we're scattered the whole way through Ireland. And then I think there's someone, I can't remember who, there is at least a couple people running around in the UK, and then there's some people running around in Australia, and that's just like my dad's siblings and my like first cousins. Like that's just counting them. So we're lousy with Connollys everywhere.
Yes. Well, yes, Connolly. It's a wonderful name. And Gail, right?
Yes.
And Gail, yeah, because Gail is spelt in the like Gaelic way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think it's cool. Yeah.
Interesting.
So it means I can't trademark my name. I can't copyright my name. I can't get a URL with my name.
And she is a burst of wind.
You know, that's actually he wouldn't remember now because he doesn't remember much now, but that was like my grandfather's favorite way of greeting me on my mom's side. So my paternal grandfather, I would go see him if we went to visit or something, and I can't remember how he'd exactly say it, but something on the lines of, "Is it windy outside?" And yeah. I'd be like, "No, Grandpa, it's not windy." And he goes, "Well, you're here. It must be windy." I'm like, "Really?" This was like when I was like 8.
Yes.
So he very much enjoyed the gale force winds.
Yes,
joke.
the gale force winds.
I bet you've heard that joke once or twice, Gail.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm usually okay if it has to do with the wind because like, yeah, I am. Like, and that's what's going to happen if you keep running your mouth. I'm going to bowl you right over. But it's the ones that would then take it into like windy, like passing gas windy, and it's like, you know, like you could have like gone on either side of this and you had to go that way. Like, I don't think we can be friends now.
Yeah.
So
well, I think in terms of for people who are watching and might think this is just random, which it is also relevant in terms of looking at words. Colin and I have discussed words throughout different aspects of this broadcast. But I find personally, it's interesting how often you meet an entrepreneur who does the thing that their name signifies. Or is there some sort of relationship to, like, my name is Webb and Webb is Weaver, and that's what I do. I'm always, weaving things together. I connect people, I connect ideas, I connect things, I work with patterns. And, and in English, my name is spelled Lori, but it's from the Laurel. And in Denmark, they like to spell it Lorry, which is truck in the UK. And I'm like, do I look like a truck? So it's interesting, I think, that your name it indicates sometimes your personality. What's the story behind Colin and Scotland? Scotland, I know do you have family that is connected to the name, or what does Colin actually mean?
I've no idea what Colin means. Great, I think. No.
Awesome.
Yeah, Colin the Great. No, I don't know what Colin means, but Scotland. I know where Scotland came from. My great granddad was from Sierra Leone in West Africa, and he came over. I believe, I don't know whether he chose the name coming over. I don't know. He was in the Merchant Navy because Sierra Leone was like Freetown, and the abolishment of slavery, and there was a lot of movement there. So he came over from Sierra Leone in 18 something or other, blah blah blah. I don't know what, wow. And settled met my great grandma in Liverpool in the house he was lodging at in Toxteth in Liverpool 8, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Nice. Well, I have to give you this information because I am a nerd. Colin is an English language masculine given name, an anglicized form of the Gaelic name Cullen. Calian. Modern Irish spelling, and then they spell it in modern Irish, which I can't even, I guess it's supposed to be Colin, meaning whelp, cub. Whelp, WHELP, or cub. The old Irish word for whelp is Cullen. The Scottish Gaelic name is recorded in the spelling Colin from an early as the 14th century name. So Cullen, not a word you hear often. Whelp, I don't know at all. I don't know if you guys know that word.
I know whelp. You guys don't know whelp? Oh man.
What
Isn't whelp like puppies or something?
Yeah, like a cub, like a whelp or a cub.
Okay, it says a cub. Well, okay, so you're like a cub.
I don't know if I like that.
Repetition, man's best friend. Right? A
Yeah,
cub
but
with,
whelping isn't whelping when they're like getting potty trained and all of that stuff.
No, I don't.
no.
But there's so whelp and cub. So like you want to talk about word choice. I probably have about a minute and then I have to run away. But cub is like, I think societally we have like a positive connotation to it. It makes us feel good.
Mhm.
Whelp actually has like, it's either neutral or a little bit of a negative. So even though you might not know what the word means, you have this feeling of like, oh, that's not good.
Mhm.
But cub's okay. But they mean the same thing. So whelp is like a youngling, or they're whelping, like they're growing through stage. So yes, but it's not specific to the potty training part. They're
Got it.
like progressing through a phase of being small and then not being small.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
I'm going to translate it, or I'm going to translate it through the Lori Webb Dictionary of Information, and I'm going to say that it is appropriate because what are you about? You're about personal development, and the whelp is in development. The cub is in development, and so is Colin Scotland. But I think it's funny that your name is Colin Scotland, and Cullen actually is Scottish Gaelic name. I love your name. I really love your name.
Interesting.
I go around talking about Colin Scotland. I think it's such a cool name, right?
Okay.
Isn't it?
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna be the obnoxious project manager because Colin has to go greet.
Yeah,
his
I'm gonna
guest.
go and
gotta
set
go.
up I'm gonna go and get the next
Well,
stream
thank you for
set
this
up for the
social
top of the
talk.
hour. All right.
Yeah,
Sorry?
this
Okay.
was good.
Good
I liked
stuff.
it.
Good stuff. Yeah, me too. Take care, guys. I'll
Bye.
see you soon.
Bye.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
I really do have to go.